It finally happened. I am in the new Thrasher magazine. They have mentioned my name, and this is an article that I feel like obviously makes sense if I cover it. It's called How to Start a YouTube Channel, written in Thrasher. Obviously, I know beforehand that this is probably a lot of satire, a lot of sarcasm, but someone told me, hey man, you should read this, and I haven't actually read it yet, but apparently my name is mentioned right in the opening paragraph, and I just want to go through this and kind of react, I guess. This is a reaction video. Top quality content on YouTube. I almost died at this LA skate park. You won't believe how much water Andy Anderson needs. The most hated skaters in Modesto. Okay, so, you know, they're doing the clickbait titles, and genuinely, the first one has to be one of mine. I almost died at this LA skate park. That sounds exactly like mine. The Andy Anderson craze on YouTube, obviously there's like 4 or 5 YouTubers making a video about him every time they go out, which I wonder if he's tired at this point. So, you know, obviously they're making fun of that so far. Whether these titles are real or not, doesn't matter. You've seen videos like them. Everyone from your shitty little cousin to the most paid pros on the planet are throwing their hats into the YouTube arena in hopes of becoming the next John Hill. Wow, that is trippy. Like, I know this is like a trolly article, but that is trippy. It is actually written by someone I know though, named Ted Schmitz. He's got a job to do, so he's not gonna be like, I'm actually sort of friends with John. So actually, we'll see where it goes. Before you launch that new account dedicated to skatepark reviews and freestyle analysis, let's give you a few pointers, lest you end up in the dozen view count club with even fewer real friends. There are 10 notes for how to basically be a YouTube skater. I'm gonna go through all of them, see which ones are correct, which ones actually apply, and just react, you know. Genuinely really clever writing. I like that last sentence because there is sort of a potential truth in you're making videos, you're being sort of sensational to accumulate views, you might accidentally push some of your friends in real life away, and you know, that's pick and choose. Number 1, pick a theme. Before you start blasting people by name for snaking at El Sereno or interviewing local kooks who take joy in the suffering of scooter kids, you need to choose a lane to stay in it. Maybe you notice your park has a quarter pipe too close to a ledge. You might be the public space critic we've been waiting for. Honestly, we're not waiting for you, but still, a channel with a hodgepodge of videos ripped right from the dome is like a suicide soda. A horrible idea. Easy start, skate clothes reviews. Say mean things about skaters' outfits and let your insecurities and hive-minded aesthetics attract your fellow fashion-following freaks. Whoa. He sort of made fun of everyone. There's this weird, gross thing on YouTube where even like YouTube skaters sort of have this weird beef thing, corniest thing ever, but he's sort of making fun of everyone all at once. It's like, there's the me who's like, skate park review, this sort of sensationalism, which I've strayed away from a bit, obviously, because, you know, I've been doing this for 7 years, but then he's also making fun of the people who make fun of the people by being like, this is fashion, you should be wearing this, and then other people are like, oh my God, I hate that kind of fashion as well, which is like, yeah, it's a lot. Number 2, grab them with a title. This is arguably the most important part of your quest for nameless eyes and abstract metrics. Make sure caps lock is on and let your lizard brain find the lead. The worst gear at Soma Park might be your ticket to click it. It might also get you stabbed by an unsavory local in a Metallica shirt. I think his name is JP, and he hasn't seen a video since Digital Smoke and Mirrors. Dude, the reason writing like this is so fun is because it's so in the weeds. I actually love Digital Smoke and Mirrors, but just like Soma Park, it's like a park in San Francisco. He mentioned El Sereno, which is the park we've been going to a lot. It's pretty in the weeds with skating. It's very California based, but he's right. It really is like, the title is sort of everything in terms of attracting attention. Having a theme, a consistent theme, is actually really important with a channel a lot of times, and recently that's something that I've sort of strayed away from, which is ironic because, yeah, I mean, it obviously will affect your channel. It just depends what you want at the end of the day. I like that he mentioned that the metrics are sort of this pointless notion, I guess, except for potentially getting paid on the platform if you're trying to do that, but obviously with everything there's sacrifices. You can do that, you can maybe lose your friends, you can sort of be alienated by the entire skate community. It's like, you know, you have to, it's kind of all a gamble. Number 3, prep a thumbnail. This is your second most important choice. He's right, like, he actually knows. Okay, the actual quality of your video should not be your main driver. Unfortunately, kind of true. You gotta hook people with a soy face, red circle and arrow pointing to the crotch of JP's distressed denim. Who cares if he takes offense to being the butt of your joke? You can outrun him, can't you? That's pretty funny. It almost feels like he's critiquing more of critiquing channels, like the channels that talk a lot of crap about a lot of skaters, which isn't really my channel, but there are other skaters like that now. It seems like he's almost more making fun of them because, yeah, like those people in public sometimes do have to deal with people being like, hey, you said this one thing about me and I didn't like that, or, you know, even bigger confrontation. Like I know someone really popular in skating who went to a skate park and they literally said, leave. Like you can't even come to this park because you've said bad things about friends of ours. So it's, you know, that's a side of it that I don't really get into. I just realized I skipped 4. It was get an Adobe subscription. Yeah. You can, there it is. Number 5, get your camera. You think a cracked iPhone 11 with 6 gigs of available storage is good enough? You're right. Flip that shit horizontal, use the front-facing camera and talk straight into it. Rip on JP's work boots or something. He's on his lunch break and has an honest job, but who cares? His clothes are not in these, wow, they're really like, his clothes are not in the no title, emo drenched HPX montages you guzzle down before bed. You can also pony up for one of those Sony mirrorless cameras for the vlogger vibe. That's what I use, that's what I'm using right now. Think a VX will give you the DV style the older heads desire? You're wrong. The menus are in Japanese and you can't even read an English menu. That's actually too niche for me, I don't even know what he's saying. Number 6, film some skating. This is the least important step. Chances are you've got 1/10 of JP's talent. He's already 3-flipped up the Euro that you can barely ollie. He came up in a time where the best skaters had canary yellow shirts and switched front-boarded 10 rails to warm up. Throw your shit on a tripod and sneak a selfie clip in the back corner behind the keyhole. A chill backside flip with a fresh fit is sufficient. Number 7, choose the right music. Think it would be funny to sync up JP's sniped clips and thrash metal vibe with an Ice Spice or Kodak Black track? Well, he doesn't know who they are, and neither do I. Instead, get a royalty-free song that vaguely feels like an ad for a mattress company, then mention a few times that you actually fuck with BLP kosher. All right. Number 8, become a brand. There is no self in the 21st century, only personal brands. Consider calling yourself the skate park satirialist? Wow. And make sure you have affiliate links at the end of every text you send. You are nothing if you don't use the attention of strangers to move some units. A 3-dimensional person with conflicting desires and motivations has no place online. Make a catchy logo out of your initials and get that print-on-demand merch flowing. Actually, don't emblazon anything with an SS logo. It's true, right now with merchandise, you can just literally have a third party do all of it now. It's kind of crazy. It's a whole different landscape, and people do try to monetize every aspect of it, especially if it's a smaller channel. I think, you know, you're like, if I get any attention, I want to make money getting that attention. And, you know, it's just whatever your audience is into, I guess. Number 9, make as much shit as you can. You're playing a quantity game here. Crank out at least 2 videos a week until every sentence instinctively begins with, what's up, guys? Oh, and, well, I used to do, what's up, dude? No, wait, what did I think I used to say, hello, YouTube. I'm not sure. Oh, you have a good idea for an in-depth look at how skateboarding allows us to fulfill the need for heroism as described as Austrian psychoanalyst Otto Rank? Bad idea. Make a video about the best vape flavors and how embarrassing JP looks smoking Reds on the way back to his work truck. This is really attacking commentary channels, which I think is interesting because I do agree. I'm not a fan of negative commentary channels as well. But at the same time, I think I've made videos that have made other people uncomfortable. I've interviewed people who have talked about other people, and in those cases, those are names I could have hid and maybe I didn't. And you know, like I haven't made like that specific type of content, but I've probably made content similar enough to where people would be like, oh, this makes me uncomfortable. So I feel like I don't really have room to talk. Number 10, secure the bag. Whether it's through monetized videos, affiliate links, Patreon, or your rock solid DTC soft goods, you gotta make money on this thing. What is fragmenting your own personality into thousands of viewable hours worth if you can't get a $17 salad at the spot you heard JP can't afford? Actually, he's walking back towards you and pretty fast. He must have seen your channel. God, skateboarding is so toxic. Wow. So what do I actually think of the article? This is the next day. It got way too dark and there were dogs barking. It was super annoying. First of all, I think it's really annoying when YouTubers talk about the conversation of like, these pro skaters don't accept us and et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, well, yeah, we sort of chose to do this taboo world. So obviously traditional skateboarding might not be super accepting of it. And I think that's just something you know going into it. So you can't really complain when you realize that the gatekeepers you knew beforehand are still gatekeepers. But what's weird is that now that YouTube is becoming really acceptable amongst skaters within skateboarding, since now the industry heads understand that it does really well for the brand and it does really well for the individuals actually making the YouTube videos, people are promoting it. And now, ironically, a lot of skaters are trying to work with YouTubers like myself, etc. And there is no bitterness in that at all. I'm so down and excited to help anyone, especially skateboarders, the people who I know go through hell and back to get good at skateboarding, or they dedicate a lot of time to their craft. a lot of skateboarders just go on the other side of it after getting all the skill and get nothing out of it. So for me, I'm always super encouraging of please do a YouTube channel, do whatever you can to have some sort of income coming in for the thing you love to do, because at the end of the day, it's best to do the thing you love to do. But skateboarding is the thing I love to do the most, and I've been able to make, 1,500 videos plus about it. But at this point, I'm just super down. Slide into my DMs to help anyone in skateboarding right now, sponsored skateboarders especially. I'm super down to help you with the YouTube journey, because I myself am trying to sort of step away a little bit from it. But anything I've learned over the years, I'm always so down to share, especially with industry heads who have been hitting me up a lot. A lot of people behind a lot of companies within skateboarding have been asking me for my advice. And actually this really, really large company, one of the biggest companies in the world, period, who actually have a hand in skateboarding, we've been talking a lot about me potentially working with them in this and this and this. And honestly, when I think about just doing what I've been doing for another couple of years, it's just too much, and I don't think I'm interested in that, to be frank, because I have seen such ups and downs, and I genuinely feel like I have seen sort of the peak of what I can do within skateboarding. I've made the videos I've wanted to make, and I don't really know if there's a corner of skateboarding that I can cover that that interests me. This is turning into a podcast, and that's more of a personal matter. In terms of like this article and seeing the relationship in skating changing in all these different ways, to me, I've always shunned the gatekeepy crowd. I think everyone should work together to push skating in this really cool direction. But unfortunately, within every subculture, even though skateboarding is just culture at this point, you're gonna have infighting, and it sucks. The truth is, a lot of skateboarders just want acceptance from the people they grew up watching. I read Thrashers growing up, and they genuinely saved me. I mean, they saved me from what I believe was a very difficult time existing as a kid, and they inspired me to do crazy things like move to California and pursue skateboarding and the skateboard culture, and these people within skating, they helped me also realize my ambitions and dreams, and even the downs and the lows sort of led me to being able to do this YouTube thing. And it's been such a fun, wild, beautiful ride, and I have a lot to thank with people like Thrasher for inspiring me and really, really being this thing that stood out so much in such a small town where everybody did the exact same thing. I could look at this magazine and be like, this is the Bible to an alternate world, and I love it. Thrasher's called Bible. I'm not trying to be sacrilegious. I also think Thrasher is in a better and better place with someone like Michael Burnett at the helm. He seems like a really nice dude. He seems very inclusive, which is a new direction for a lot of skate companies, and it's very, very cool to see. So I think skateboarding is it's in good hands, but I just think that the culture of skateboarding is something that initially attracted me. But I think when I'm getting older, it's the friends that I meet in skating are great, but in terms of just the overall community of what skating is and the vibe that skateboarding has on the internet, etc., that's not what makes me want to skate. I just love the act of it. And I do hope that skateboarding keeps going in this more positive direction, more inclusive direction, but I still think it has a ways to go. And I think that's one reason that I've been a little hesitant about just being like all skating all the time, because honestly, I have never really felt super accepted in in skate culture. But when I explore other cultures, literally any other culture, people are immediately like, dude, what's up? That's so cool. Yeah, dude, anything you want, let's help out. Like literally like the 10 other subcultures I've explored, I've been welcomed with these huge open arms every single time, and skating, even to this day, has never felt that way, especially when I was younger. Thank you, Ted, for writing that article. Very well done. I'll just end the video by saying that if you're out there, you're a pro skater, you're a great skateboarder, and you're trying to sort of figure out social media in some way, I'm definitely down to help in any way I can. If you do own a company and you're like, own a skate company, and you're like, how do we get into this without being too cringy, or we want to be cringy, we don't care, we just want to get more attention, hit me up. I'm definitely down to share any advice or ideas that I may have. I think I want to see skateboarders succeed. I want them to be able to make a living, and making content is actually really, really, really fun if you get past the initial awkward barrier. So yeah, if you want any advice, holler at me. I'm here, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, progress daily, and keep killing it.